It's Taurus season, baby. Tomorrow is my birthday. I guess by the time you hear this podcast, it'll be today or whenever. But I turned 40, and that is wild because mentally I'm somewhere between 19 and 80, depending on the day and the time of day and how busy I've been. So I thought, let's do a birthday episode and not some fancy Pinterest version, not the life is beautiful and I'm so blessed, even though I am, but this is going to be honest. This is going to be real. And these are the things that I wish someone would have told me. And if they did tell me, I wish I would have freaking listened because I had to learn the hard way. And hopefully you'll take something from this small list. Welcome to Random Candace Thoughts. I'm Candace, your favorite mom, nana, and professional overthinker with a million and one lessons learned the hard way. This is where I share my unfiltered take on life to business and everything in between. Let's get into it. I had a long discussion with my bestie, Chatty G, which I talked about in detail in my last episode. And I asked some hard truths that I've learned based on the stories and the discussions that we've had and the honesty that the robot and I have shared. So I've got a few. And some I am still learning every single day, and some punched me right in the gut. So, first one, you can completely start over even after people have counted you out. You can do whatever you want and you can rebuild a life that is yours. You don't owe anyone access to the healed version of you. I used to think that because I made a lot of mistakes, and I used to think that I had to make up for things that I said or things that I had done. And I just realized that my peace was too expensive. My peace and my family's peace was way more expensive to me. It was way more worth it. Here's one that you don't think about. You feel lonelier during your growth phases, like your self growth, than you ever did in your rock bottoms. Because there are so many things that you're looking at deep down inside yourself that you've never seen, that you've never admitted to. And sometimes that is really hard and it can be a lonely road, but it's worth it in the end. Here's one for you. If you are in a tough relationship with maybe somebody that's got some red flags, they don't turn green with time. You can't fix it. And it doesn't matter sometimes the amount of love that you pour into it. Sometimes they're just going to stay red flags. It could be said for a romantic relationship or a friendship. Real love will hold space for you to heal without making it your job to help them through it and to be perfect along the way. Real friendship, real love is celebrating your wins together. Because if they're not celebrating with you, they're not in your corner. And sometimes that's really freaking hard to hear. And you know what? Sometimes that means with your family as well, because family doesn't always mean safe. Sometimes it means stress and anxiety and trying to pretend to be somebody that you're not. And most people aren't thinking about you anyways, they're thinking about themselves. So you're kind of free there. Aging is super weird, uncomfortable, but also really powerful. because you become this version of yourself that cares a little bit less as time goes on what everybody thinks and more about just living your damn life and appreciating everything around you. The gray hairs, the stretch marks, the little extra fat around the belly, that's your wisdom. That's your receipts at the life that you've lived and that you're continuing to live. And speaking of that, if you are a parent, you can love your kids and still live your life. You're going to be a better parent when you're not trying to be perfect. You can have a life outside of being a parent. Most adults are just winging it anyways. Let's all be honest. Because as we grow, as we age, you're allowed to want something else just because you do, just because it makes you feel good. You're allowed to do that. You have permission. Because anything that's costing you your peace, your time, your sleep, it's just too damn expensive, especially if it's your time, especially as you age. And with age comes levels of grief, right? And grief doesn't expire. Grief doesn't ever expire. My mom has been gone since 2021, and there is not a day that goes by that I don't think about her. And with that being said, we can talk about Oliver's Light, which is a segment in remembrance for our grandson Oliver, who was born sleeping in January. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him. Grief doesn't expire. And this year's birthday kind of stinks because I'm here and he's not. And I'll never stop wishing he were here. But I will keep honoring him by showing up, by doing this segment, by creating with love, by helping people rebuild into something beautiful. So if you are listening to this and wondering if it's too late, it's not. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. It is not too late because you're just getting started. So happy birthday to me, all of 44 years young. And let's see what this next year will bring. And we'll revisit in May of 2026. See all the wins and the goals and the successes that we've all shared. If there's something in this episode that resonated with you, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit the follow. Better yet, send me a message. Send me a DM. What's the hard truth that you've had to learn? Drop it in the comments. And if you're sitting around waiting to start something, a goal, a business, a relationship, a new chapter, this is your sign. I'm telling you. Thank you for being here. I am off to enjoy the sun and high noon seltzers and maybe a nap. Cheers to 44, friends. See you next week.